Good afternoon. This is Navy Old Salt Gamer. Please remember to subscribe and like. I am still in the Stationeers level Brutal Vulcan, and I'll tell you what, it is really tough. It's really tough. Um, well, let me get it started, and we'll go over what I'm doing here. And I have done some things behind the scenes, so I got my AC hooked up. I don't remember. I think I did that in the last one. I got some plants. Food is not a problem anymore. I'm growing my own potatoes, and I have found some traders that I was able to buy a can of soup and some water off of. The soup's just for backup, and basically my only issue is water, and I want to add more plants because I'm not maintaining my oxygen. I'm doing okay, and I still have, at this point, about a megapascal and 3/4 in the tank that's right behind me. And I'm doing okay with oxygen, but I'm not maintaining, let's put it that way. So, still doing the outside here, and I'm rushing. And this whole episode is probably going to be trying to find traders that will trade water for me or buy my ores, because as you can see, I got 152, and most of the water bottles are going to be 200 and 250 credits, depending on who you buy them from, for a 12-liter bottle. And the power is not an issue. I did hook up a station battery on the roof, and I'm maintaining battery pretty well now. I have been going out a little bit earlier, which is probably costing me a little bit of oxygen, but I do need to get some stuff done. So it's hard. It's just really hard in this level. It gets kind of frustrating, but when you get the breakthroughs like I have here later in this episode, it makes it worthwhile. And I'm just trying to kill some time here. And here we go. I think, yeah, it's 220, so it's a little early, but that's not so bad. You can see I got my whole setup out here. Getting ready to turn things on. I've got to find the correct traders, and this is the hardest part. I'm checking my battery. My battery's in good shape. So I'm trying to find, basically I need someone to buy my ores, and I need water. So, I'm just tuning around because I've tried a few of these. I mean, I could get oxygen from orbiting oxygen, and I may be trying to do that. Nope, I already contacted him. So I think at this point I have, in my refrigerated vending machine, I have 100 oxygen ice, because it was relatively cheap to get. But I can't do anything with it yet because it's stuck in my refrigerated vending machine, and if I take it out, it explodes, of course. Vulcan is such a fun place. Basically, I'm just trying to find things at this point. Skipping 20. I think I'm going after Star Stop because I don't remember exactly what they trade. I'm saying I'm at 65 there. So I went 40. And that's 54. So that means I got to change the elevation. The elevation's the problem. 65. So I went the wrong way. We'll go 3 that way. There we go. Maybe one more. There we go. Okay. So now I can contact him. Now, void vegetables I could buy food off. I have quite a few food sources in trading. it's the water, and it just might be my luck. But and buying my ores, I can't find any metal dealers. It took me hours to find metal dealers that would buy my ores, and I got a whole bunch of ores sitting in my vending machine that nobody wants to come and buy. So here I'm looking at this guy. I see water bottles. See, I can survive by buying 1 or 2 water bottles, and that keeps me. But the problem is, and here's a storm, by the way. So that was like, oh, finally. This is how my luck has been. It's been brutal. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I got 2 bottles of water. Now I'm trying. You can't fly. You can't jump. So I'm like crawling my way back. Oh. And I do manage to get back. And I guess they leave when there's a storm. Which I didn't know, but he was gone. And this, yeah, I do have the oxygen in there because I was afraid that it would explode. And I have this all set up where I can close it in here now. So I put my glass on because this night is ruined. This is the kind of thing that's been happening to me. The night's ruined. I can't do anything out there in the storm. So now I'm kind of stuck inside my room. Like I said, I'm a sailor, so submariner. This doesn't bother me too much, but man, this room is crowded, and I make it even more crowded before the end of this episode. And I'm very cautious about this because I know if I hit the wrong button, I'm gonna blow something up. So bear with me as I'm thinking, can I get any refrigeration out of this? No, because it has to be cooler temperature than that. I am struggling to keep my room cool with 1 AC. If I forget to turn it on one night, then the temperature goes up. So I've been doing really well trying to remember to keep the AC on every night. And it works out okay. My battery's holding up fine with that. And this is dark, and I think I stopped this around here somewhere. I'm just trying to feel my way around. And this is what you do in Stationeers Brutal mode. I mean, you sit and wait a lot. And then, again, I had so much work to do. So there we go. I did pause it. I went outside. Now I'm trying to get more traders to do the right thing, and I'm out here way too late. Or too early. Looks like it's too early. No, so he didn't have anything I wanted. So I'm kind of standing out of the way while he takes off. I don't know if the ships can hurt you or not. But... So that night didn't work. And here we go again. So back to the routine again. And this is what I've been doing for hours, in-game hours. It's just, I don't know, it gets aggravating. It really does. And remember to turn that off. But I'm looking forward to doing an easier game, but I'm determined to do good in this game. My ultimate goal is, after I get a water source, is expanding a little bit. And then you gotta make money, so I have to mine. I have the crappy mining thing right now. I do have the better mining belt, but I need some Invar. And I tried to make the Invar, and I couldn't get it to 1.2K. I even threw gold in there and let the oxygen cook it. I got close, but after about 2 tries of that, I was like, I'll wait till later. And then I don't think it's happened yet. But eventually I get a trader and I just buy 10 Invar from them so I can make the better mining tool so I can mine faster. And here, this is where I have the oxygen in my vending machine, so I'm going to get an ice crusher and some chutes because I can't carry the ice from my vending machine. I haven't tried it, but I'm most certain that if you pull ice out of a vending machine on the outside oxygen ice on the Vulcan atmosphere, you're gonna have a rude awakening. So I'm trying to think, well, I can shoot it to a ice crusher and then put it in a tank. And here's where I'm doing a utilities so I can do that. I'm trying to get that all worked out. I couldn't remember if it took one utility or two utilities to make that little tank. And I thought it was two, but I'm limited on silicone here. As you can see, I only got 17 because I put all of it in the vending machine waiting to sell. So that's why I'm trying here. I'm like, yep, I need two of them. So I'm printing some pipes now, some insulated pipes. Getting ready to set that up. I never really get this totally set up before the end of this episode. So it's a work in progress, but I'm so busy working trading that I didn't have time to do anything else. So I'm making another utility. And even though it's 0 out here, the temperature's 0, I'm still burning too much oxygen in my book. So I'm a little hesitant to stay out here and work too long. It's much better for me to go back in my room and just hang out. Once I get this oxygen hooked up, where I can vent it in and use that instead of the oxygen that my plants are producing. This is what I'm thinking ahead here. I'm going to use that oxygen, but when you melt ice, it has nitrogen in it, so you need a nitrogen filter. So that's why I printed a nitrogen filter and put it in my suit, because otherwise your nitrogen just builds up and it just starts croaking. And here's where you can see my waste tank warning just went off. And that's one of the big problems. I have my suit temperature turned down to 0, but it only goes down to 9. And your waste tank is usually around 50 Celsius. So that's one of the reasons I'm saving that air. It's nil in here, so I still am in not power wasting mode, although power isn't an issue. I did do my first IC chip. I could turn that off because that's not working now. But I did do my first IC chip for the green light, or the grow light. That's timed basically 5 minutes on and 5 minutes off. That seems to keep everything thriving. I did it that way because I didn't want it running when I was lower on power all night in when I wasn't having a whole lot of battery charge. You see I'm at 35 degrees. That's good enough for the potatoes. It's good enough for breathing. As long as I keep that on every night, I think the lowest I've gotten it down to is around 32 Celsius. And I'm looking in here because I did have about 52% oxygen. That's what's showing me. It's starting to go down. It's okay, but it's still going down. And I gotta get in there and turn that on and watch that. So now I'm sucking oxygen out of the room and making it even lower. I'm putting it in my tank to breathe for the next time. And I usually put somewhere between 7 and 8 megapascals in there. And I'm just checking it here. See how it's going down? It's 37 now percentage. I did add a second row. As you can see there, a second row of potatoes helped. but it's still going down. There you go. I'm at 37% there. Now these are all the water bottles that I bought one at a time from traders. Like I said, I can maintain water by trading with traders, one bottle at a time, which means I really basically have to trade every day, and you just can't do that. And I've been saving the seeds. And I make a mistake here. I should have used a potato to plant it, and I should have kept the seed, because I don't have any seeds, and if disaster happens, then there goes your potatoes. Now, I don't have a refrigerator, so I don't want to do too many potatoes at a time. So I usually only do one. This time I do two because, well, I got nowhere else to put it. And it's going to spoil worse if I leave it sitting around. But if I have it in my hand, at least that saves it a little bit. So now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it, because my hands are empty. Or full, I should say. And I put the GPS cartridge, which I haven't been using. I probably should get that back before I start mining again. I got to remember that. So there I put the potato in my inventory. It's not ideal, but it holds up pretty well in there. Replace my battery. This is how I check my temperature. I see some people putting up temperature gauges, which is cool. I'll probably do that eventually. But I just look at the pipe that's leading to the outside of my air conditioner, and it gives me an idea what time of day it is. So now I'm just waiting. And I could have probably paused it here. So maybe you want to fast forward a little bit. Unless I figure out something, but I don't think I did. I think I'm thinking about how to get the oxygen from outside in here. Yeah, that is what I'm doing. I remember this now. I try and get a pipe out there so I can mark where I'm coming in at. And it's really tough because this room is like super duper crowded. I smack my head, but I finally do get it. And then I bring it over here. And people are going to laugh about the way I did this. But I didn't want any exposed, non-insulated things. This worked over here, which surprises me because it's kind of sticking through the wall. And I watched it very closely. It doesn't seem to be warming up. I was thinking of moving that, but I said, no, I better not do that. And then this is why I'm thinking while I'm trying to rest. There you go, I'm down a little bit further. I'm like, I got to get this oxygen working. And again, I check it eventually here. I do have, a little short of 2 megapascals in that tank, so it's not an emergency yet. But I do have to keep my eye on my oxygen. Again, I'm always worried about hitting the wrong switch here. I've got to automate this eventually. Very crowded. Oh, I did do the tool printer. I don't know if you saw that before. That's what's over there, blocking my way. And here's where I start saying I've got to do trading, even if I have to go out a little bit early. I got to get this stuff to work. And I'm almost out of pipes because I used a bunch out there, so I'm doing a few more insulated pipes, but I can only do 3 because then I'm out of silicone. It's always something. There you go, I'm out of silicone now, so I got 10 pipes. And I keep wanting to throw that thing out. And I keep forgetting about it. It's been sitting in my inventory. I really hate that mining pig. Nobody that I've seen ever uses it. So again, here's 480. That's a little bit early. I thought I turned it on, but apparently I didn't. Maybe I left it on. So I got nebulas, void vegetables. That's not really what I want. I want something with metal. I even try building incorporated when I can, but they do not, at level 3, they don't buy any metals. And I thought they did, but I think I'm trying for nebula nibbles here, thinking, well, if I can't find anything, I'll at least get water this way. And here we go. I'm like, get rid of this crap. I finally remembered after, what is this? Day 29? I finally threw that stupid thing out. I got a lot of stuff up here, so some of them I can't use. Hoping the oxygen place will buy ores. And I don't remember exactly how many, at this point, how many oxide ice I have in the vending machine. There is some in there. Maybe I'm checking here. Oh, here's where I'm setting up some chutes to get to my ice maker. I end up taking that one back out because now I can't access it. And of course I didn't make enough chutes. And I really don't have a place to mount anything because there's no, nothing over there. But again, I'm in panic mode here because not panic mode, but urgency mode. I'm even planning ahead. There's nebula nibbles. Maybe I can see what they have. 64, so 20. So like that. While all this is happening while he's landing. So I'm just multitasking here. I've gotten pretty good at tuning these in, that's for sure. And the one I was looking at, I think, disappeared. Nope, he's still there. So now I interrogate him, but I think he leaves, if I remember right. And again, a lot of awkward walking here. Ooh, everything is tight. And I'm like, crap. But then I see this. I'm like, he wants 14 gas canisters at $7.50 each, and I'm like, you know what? I have iron. Hold on. This is how desperate I am for money. I'm like, yep, I'm gonna do it. I run in here, and I start running off empty gas canisters to sell to this guy. And this is crazy because they can't stack them. They come out one at a time. It's really a pain in the neck. That's what I'm looking at now. I'm like, crap, I can't stack these. How am I going to do this? Oh, I'm just going to run. And of course, this ship is the bigger design than some of them, so I can't walk behind it. I have to use my jetpack, and that messes me up over and over. So, you're going to see me run back and forth a little bit here and fall off the edge to try and get these 14 canisters in there for him to sell. Or to sell to him, I should say. And here we go again. Oh. Meanwhile, I'm like cursing at myself. I'm like, idiot. You can't walk by that guy. Have to jump. Use your backpack. And then I think I finally start doing it here. I'm like, stop wasting time. And the jetpack is free. I mean, I just use the outside air, so it doesn't cost me anything. Meanwhile, I'm counting in the back of my head here while I'm flying back and forth. So I must only need one more. There we go. So I got to make 2 more trips. But I put 2 in my inventory, so we're good. And this makes me some money, which is I'm desperate for right now. I only got 82 because I've been buying, well, a couple oxide ices and think I fall off the end here again. Yep. I fixed that at the end here. So here you go. Here's your 14 canisters. And I made 105, and that was like a big deal at this point. I'm like, yes. And he doesn't sell anything that I can use right now. Oh yeah, he has the tanks of water. Now his are 250. So I poke in one. I'm like, I don't have 250. Dang it. So I'm like, well, you can leave. You don't have anything more for me. Around, stumbling around again. And I should go in at this point probably, but like I said, there's absolutely nothing that I can try. I got 2 3s. I've already done nebula doubles. I've done orbiting oxygens. That's where I got my ice oxide from. So I'm like, well, let's tune and see if I can find somebody else. There's a build incorporated, but he's 5, so I can't land him. And the temperature's starting to go up, so I'm probably should have quit at this point. And that's why I see the sun coming up, so I'm like, well, there's nothing going on here. Nope. Turn everything off. Get the glass back in, and here we go again, hibernating. This is where I realized I didn't have enough chutes. I wanted to make 10. Of course, I made too many. But I have quite a bit of iron. It's getting lower now, but by the way, I am doing a voiceover again here, just in case you didn't realize. And there's 10. I'm like, oh, dang. And of course, I don't have the room. And they only stack 10, so I'm like, fine, go away. I got a little bit of temperature in here. There's 0. There's no air, but there's temperature. I'm trying to get 0 out here, and that did it. So it's kind of strange how you have temperature and no pressure sometimes. You have to kind of fiddle with it a little bit. And this is where I got tired of falling off the edges. Now there's the regents that from my attempt at making Invar, which was not successful. But I still have the regents, and it's properly mixed, so I can still use them when I want to try and get to that thing to 112K, I think it is. 1,200 degrees. Now here I'm just printing up some frames and sheets. Then I also realized I need some sheets for my ice crusher. So I think I print 6. Really only needed 5, but I didn't want to go out there and realize I needed another one. And my hands are full. I notice that it's 0 and 0, so I'm okay to pop the hatch. And I turn this off. Now that use a waste of power, but I do have the power to waste, so I let that run. Unless I'm in here, pretty much. That way, you see it's 33 degrees, that's pretty good. If it gets much above 35, the potatoes, well, I shouldn't say 35, maybe 37 or 38, then the potatoes start to grow moderately well instead of well, or thrive. There we go, I switch that. Now, I've gotten the habit now of filling the oxygen tank before I vent my waste tank, because it's 33 in here now, but watch what happens when I vent my waste tank. The temperature shoots up. So you're breathing hotter air. The hotter the air is, the faster you breathe it. So it's always good to keep it as cool as possible. So it's 33, and it's probably going to go up to 34 or 35 once I pop that. 33.6. I'm checking oxygen levels too to see how much I replenish. So now it goes up a degree when you vent your tank. So that's what you're fighting. And look, I'm at 36% oxygen. Still going down, but not as fast. If I put another row of potatoes in, I probably will break even or come close to it. And I got empty water bottles. I got enough of them to supply an army. Hopefully somebody eventually will buy my empty water bottles. Either that, I'm just going to throw them in the recycler and get what I can out of them. Probably some silicone. Alright, so here we go again. Now, I think I paused this one. I could be wrong, but... Oh no, that's right. I'm like, you know, I can finish hooking this up. I'm rethinking how I'm going to do this. And I may have to change this, because I didn't really like the way it worked out in the long run. And again, I'm trying to think, well, I don't want anything in the frame, because if you put it in the frame, you run the risk of absorbing heat. Alright, so that's where I stopped right there, I think. I'm like, okay, well, that might work. If I go back up to the ceiling, and that's what I'm doing now, back up to the ceiling, which is hard to do because I cannot move. The tank is right behind me. It's very crowded in here. Here we go. So if I do this, then I can put a utility on that, because that utility is not leaking you know, heat. It's not costing me any temperature. I'd like to start refilling my tank with the oxygen that I'm going to put in the ice crusher. Now the problem is, if I start bleeding that air in here, then the pressure's going to go up. I'm going to have to figure out a way to lower the pressure in here, because it's already a little higher. And I'm not exactly sure how that happens. I haven't really released any more air. I guess it's temperature related. But you see I got 110 kilopascals. So, you know, it's not like I could just add a whole bunch of air in here without worrying about the pressure. I have to start maybe siphoning off some of the oxygen and putting it into that tank. I could probably do that pretty easily. I don't need any more oxygen in this room other than to breathe, because the plants don't need it. Okay, so there we go. I paused it there and I restarted it. Here comes a trader. I think this is a promising one. I don't remember who it was. Oh, yeah, this is the Galactic Meteorology. And I'm like, holy cow, he might actually buy my order. It only took me hours and hours. And there we go. I had these sitting in there forever. I make 176 off of that guy. And 198 off of that guy. And 42 2. And that's all I have. I sold all the ore. And here's where I look at Invar, and I think I pick up some Invar. I don't buy much of it. But I'm like, you know, I got enough. I close it. And I'm figuring 500 will get me 12 liters. So I can do, we're going to go ahead and buy 10 Invar for 50, which is crazy, but I did it. So that leaves me 562. So I know if I get the right trader, I can still get 2 bottles of liter, water. And I am looking and I'm looking. I'm like, okay, I've got to the point where I can buy the water if I can find somebody that now sells the water. So I'm trying to stop, and I don't remember 53. So I'm playing with the stop. That slowed it down, so that's the wrong way. I got 1 minute and 20 seconds to find this guy before he disappears. That should do it. Once you get to around 21, he gets interrogated fast, too. He must have been close. When you're in a hurry like this, when it's nighttime, you're like, we could hurry up, and man, it's agonizing to sit and waste time waiting for the guy to land. And I'm like, oh, well, I'll buy 10, I'll buy 1, 2 bottles of water. So that's like 3 days. That's all you have for me, so go away. Like I said, I can buy bottles of water and survive. But it's only a temporary fix until I actually find somebody. And here I'm just doing, if you can't find anybody, I do 90-degree steps. Ooh, now that looks promising. Starlight Suppers. I figure I'll give him a shot. I got 3 minutes to tune him in. 85, that's way off. And I'm looking, yeah, no sun, no black hole yet, but that's definitely faster. 54, so I'm going the right way. .49, so go back and change the elevation. That was fast. So change it one more that same way. That should do it. Just checking my battery again. Every once in a while I peek up there because, you know, when you interrogate, that's when you really use the power. And the temperature is just now starting to go up. So, again, hurry up and play it. There comes the black hole. We got food, food, food. Dang. Don't sell water. But I could buy soup from them, but I don't really need it. So I'm thinking, well, you have nothing I want. Sun's coming up. Out of my way. Now I want to get that water out of there. This is where I'm like, you idiot. You plugged the hole up. Here's where I play juggling act. Every time until I get some more frames out here. There's my oxide. There's my Invar. Okay, we don't want to throw the wrench by mistake. Ha! Got it. And I got nowhere to put it. And there's a bottle of water. Ha! Got it. Let's get out of the heat. And I can't pick that up because my hands are full. Meanwhile, it's getting hotter and hotter. So I just threw the end bar in there. And we got to get this 240 degree air out of here. Now I'm thinking I can finally buy make the better mining device. So there's my end bar. I don't remember what it takes to make it. And then I open this and throw that in there, and I'm thinking that's fine, I can do that. But of course, that's not my tool maker. Oh yeah, tool maker's over here. You barely get to it. And then I can't remember which mining. I have a brain fart here. I'm thinking, well, do I want the heavy one or the Mark II? And I'm saying I think it's the heavy one because it's better than the Mark II. So I get that one. And then I look what I need. And then I'm like, well, is that the right one? Then I have to learn how to spell mining. So the Mark II takes battery. And mining heavy. I think I've used the heavy one in the past is what I'm thinking, so I'm going to go ahead and make that one. I could have probably made the Mark II and see if it was better when I didn't have the end wire, but I didn't. So I need the electrum and solder, and there we go. I got the better mining device. Takes a while to print. Of course, I had 0 until I opened the door. Now it's 140 in here again. Or 250, I should say. There we go. I got the better heavy mining device, so that's a big step up for mining right there. Now here's another example where I have no pressure, but I have 241 degrees until I turn the vent on for a second. I can turn that off now. 32, so I still gained a degree or two down here. This size room works pretty well. Now here's where I got to print another battery, and I didn't do it yet. And I don't really want to leave a small battery in my main power controller. And I'm hesitating there thinking, but it works okay. Now I come over here, I got no place to put this, do I? Throw it. Eat that thing, because it's been in there forever and I don't really need it anymore. So I eat that. And then find a spot for it right there, which I think was open before I even did it. And then we go through the ritual of changing my tanks. Now this video, it's got about 8 minutes left, and it gets better after this area here. I finally get a big breakthrough. 36.3%. And here's where I have an issue that I might have to move it. I can barely get to this switch now because of that tank I put up above my head. And I have to be careful because this overpressurizes really fast. And if I have a hard time getting to the on-off switch, like I am right here, it could easily overpressurize while I'm fighting it. So I might just end up shutting that off a little bit earlier from now on. And we bent. And that's up to 33, so gained another degree. Now having that station battery hooked up to this makes charging batteries so much faster. Makes it a lot easier. Just checking the oxygen levels. Okay, so there I paused it. And I hopped out here, and here's where I'm making my walking area a little bit easier. I found galactic gravels, but I'm looking for somebody to buy water from. And while that's moving, I'm getting ready for him. And he does not have anything I want. Dump him real quick. I'm like, well, the only thing I have there is void visions, and I don't remember if they sell water or not. I'm trying to find somebody different. It just so happens that Build Incorporated comes pretty close to in my view, so I said, well, he might sell water. I'm trying to tune him in, that didn't work at all. So I must have to change that. $60, that didn't help a whole lot. I gotta figure out which way I'm gonna go here. $68, so that didn't help a whole lot. Ooh, that was fast. Nope, I gotta go one more time. There we go. So now I can bring him in and see if he has water, because I didn't. Earlier than this, I didn't have enough money to buy the water from the people. And while he's coming in, I'm running around the... I think I put the ice crusher down here. I don't get it hooked up or anything, but I'm looking for where that pipe came through. So I get that down, and then he's here, so I don't get any more work done on that. And of course, Void Visions has nothing that I want. And this is what I've been doing for hours in game, trying to find the right traders, and it's just... Oh, look at that. Star Sippers. Now that sounds promising. I'm like, I'm 80 degrees. I only have 2 minutes before he fades away. 2 minutes and 44 seconds. And I'm panicking now because he left. I'm thinking, well, then I got to go the other way maybe. And he's back. 57. Oof. Ooh. That worked out real well. Now, being sippers, I'm thinking this guy has to have water. So it's warming up outside, but with possibility of getting water, I don't even care. I'm like, this has got to be the right guy. And I catch a break with this guy because he does have them, and they're only 200. So I'm thinking, wow, 200. Can I get 3? So I get 2. And he has nothing that I can sell to him. I don't need the emergency water. Eventually I'm going to buy bulk water, so... But there we go. Now I'm celebrating because I finally got water I needed, and I can bend that, pick that up. Where's my tanks? There's one. 12 liters. 12 more liters. 24 liters of water, finally. I'm thinking, oh, don't break. And then I closed the door on it. I'm like, oh, don't break. Everything's set in there. Vacate this room. And I run over here and I throw that in there. And that is an empty one. And now that one's empty. I'm like, holy cow, it just took the whole thing. And then I put that one in there. And that one's empty. I'm like, well, that didn't last too long. I don't have a place to put it. So now I'm going to throw that. Put that there. But here we go. And this is where I'm like, well, it's all in the pipe network. And there we go. I got almost 26 liters of water. And that's a lot of drinking. I'm jumping for joy. You got to get that oxygen in here. That's probably the next step. I got to do some more work in this room. Expansion is coming up here pretty quick. Start the daily routine. And I'm like, well, you guys don't have to see the daily routine anymore. And there you go. So, a very productive day. Again, if you old salt gamer, please subscribe and like. And we'll see you in the next episode.